To understand why Cuba is struggling today, you have to go back to 1959 when Fidel Castro took power. His government nationalized, strong arm, meaning took over private property across the island. Long farms, factories, oil refineries, banks, and businesses were seized from Cuban families and foreign owners, including Americans. Land that had been privately owned for generations were absorbed by the state. Businesses became government-controlled. The idea was to create a socialist system where the state run major industries. In response, the United States imposed trade restrictions, what became known as the embargo. The embargo limited Cubans' ability to trade with American companies and accused United States financial markets. Over time, these sanctions expanded. Sanctions are economic penalties. They restrict trade, investment, banking access, and financial transactions. When a country is sanctioned, it becomes harder to buy oil on the global market, secure loans from international banks, import machinery, technology, and food supplies, or access the United States banks' financial system, as well as the U.S. dollar. Man, for everyday Cubans, this affects basic necessities. Oil is crucial because it empowers electricity plants. Without reliable fuel imports, blackouts increase. Fuel shortages mean transportation slows, trucks can't move food efficiently across the island anywhere, as well as the transportation slows grocery stores. They empty faster. That sucks. When power grids fail, refrigeration fail, and food spoils. Bad for the community. Over decades, Cuba's centralized economic system limited private entrepreneurship and limited private enterprise. Most industries, they owned by the government. They are state controlled. Yeah, that sucks. There is no limited competition, none, and limited foreign investment, very limited. When the government controls production, pricing, and distribution, inefficiencies build over time. Corruption can grow. Infrastructure maintenance get delayed real bad. The result is an economy that struggles to adapt quickly. When global shock happens, like oil price spikes or pandemic disruptions, it hurt drastically. For years, Venezuela supplied Cuba with subsidized oil. That relationship helped subsidize Cuba's energy supply. When Venezuela's own economy collapsed, invasion, those oil shipments declined. Cuba lost a major support system, real major. For Cuban Americans in South Florida, this is personal. Many families lost property during nationalization, homes, farms, businesses. They were taken without compensation. Some believe sanctions are necessary, pressure to force political change. Others worry sanctions primarily hurt ordinary people, not leadership. So what comes next? There are a few realistic possibilities. 1, continued economic decline if sanctions remain strict and reforms stay limited. 2, negotiations between the United States and Cuba that gradually ease restrictions in exchange for reforms. I doubt if that actually happens. 3, structural internal reform that allows private businesses to expand and foreign investment to enter key sectors like energy and tourism. That means some Florida or U.S. investors might be interested in part of that investment. Now let's keep in mind, if future U.S. leadership choose to increase pressure, the goal would likely be forcing political transformation and transition. Now, if leadership instead pursues investment and trade expansion, the goal would be economic stabilization and modernization. But let's keep in mind, revitalizing Cuba will require more than just policy shifts in Washington. It will require structural reform inside Cuba itself.